What's Going On podcast.
Yo, this is Ninja,
And this is XP Early Bird,
and this is
the What's Going On podcast.
what's going on. And today we have a interesting topic, as we always do. It's about Kendrick and no, it's not. I'm just joking. Sometimes you gotta
man.
pop out and show niggas. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been like all week. I've been on that vibe. It's just that whole
Yeah.
they not
Yeah,
like us.
they stuck in my head too, bro. I ain't
Bro,
gonna lie to you.
like every quote in that song, I just be saying it just randomly to people now. I'm like, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Yeah. Look at them and like, what the fuck are you talking about? But anyway, let me get off topic real quick, bro. What are we talking about today, bro?
Okay, bear with me because it's a bit long. Okay. Today's topic is has the change in the role of men and women in relationships helped or hurt relationships? That's the topic for today.
Okay. So, all right. Well, do you want to go first?
I don't know.
Well, all right. So, I'll start with something, then you just dive in. Okay, how about that?
Okay.
As the roles are kind of reversed now, where because you could go online and see this all the time, where girls are just like really too tough for guys. I think we kind of talked about this briefly in one video, but I think now girls are just they're so independent that if you're not as tough as them or they're not as tough as you, it's just weird. But if they're not, like they feel they have to be tough all the time to get respect, and I just think like girls nowadays are more, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I think girls nowadays are more narcissistic than men can be. You know what I'm saying? Or men are. I think it's always about them. And not for nothing. I'm not trying to tear anybody down, but it was always about. Let's just keep it real. From the dawn of time, it's always about women. They hold that power. They know it. We know it. They hold that power. It's always been about them. Whether we take care of them or we're trying to get one, it's always about them. No matter what. I mean, come on, let's keep it real. Any beef or any problem that's ever started always probably stemmed from a chick. Is that a fair, thing?
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's keep it real. Like, best friends fall out because of a girl. Girls fall out because of girls. Like, it's always
Kendrick and Drake beef was about
right,
a girl.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So it they know the power they hold. Now, if you have a girl that's like, let's say she's nuts, crazy, like narcissistic nuts, like everything is about her, nothing you do is good, everything you do is bad, no matter what, even if it's good, it's bad, or it's not good enough if it's good, or hey, where you going, you always, like if you don't have trust, that that's a major issue. But if the girl on top of her not having trust is always you ain't shit, even if the guy works all day and she don't do shit, you know what I'm saying? They still have the nerve to say you ain't shit, you know? So how does that even work? How do you tell somebody you ain't shit when you don't do shit all day?
Right.
But if the roles were reversed and the girl worked all day and the guy wasn't doing shit, you definitely ain't doing shit now. So it's like a double-edged sword. Like, how do you win if you work all day? If you work 8, 9, 10 hours a day and you a guy, you come home, you want to kick your boots off because you've been standing all day, or you've been, I don't know, doing whatever you do all day long, whether it's a hard job or easy job. You don't want to go home and hear bullshit. You spent 8 hours, 10 hours at a day dealing with bullshit. You don't want to go home and hear more bullshit. Like,
true.
Like, I get, like, there's issues to be addressed. Like, I don't know, there's a hole in the backyard gushing out water. Fine. All right, we'll nail that shit when I get home. No big deal. But if I go home and the first thing you do is nag or ask me some dumb shit and you sideswipe me with some dumb shit like, what you been doing all day? Like, what are you talking about, my nigga? Like, I've been at work all day. What are you doing all day besides sitting here bitching about me because you watch videos all day and you all of a sudden you came up with this bright idea that I'm a piece of shit because you watching videos. Like, you understand? Like,
Yeah, I see what
people
you're saying.
people start gathering, they self-diagnose their relationships online. And
They're comparing their relationship to what they're seeing online, which is fake. And
right,
if they're not getting what they see, then now it's a problem.
right. So for
I
instance,
totally understand what you're saying.
you have a girl. Let's say you
Mhm,
have a girl right now, and you guys don't live together. No, let's say you guys live together. It'd be better this way. You guys live together. You come home, and your house, your structure is not what she sees online, right?
mhm,
Let's say you live in a small one bedroom apartment. It's just you and her. You have no kids, or
mhm.
even if you have a kid, it's a two bedroom. It doesn't matter. It's not the size of it's not the things you have. It's she's seeing online that people are living this big lavish lifestyle, and she wants that, and she's
Mhm.
using that mentally against you because you don't provide her with that. Now,
Yeah, this
what do
language
you
is
do? What do you do?
um in that situation. I mean, you have to get her to understand the trade off. It's like it's just us. Like there's no okay. First of all, this is how much we make, and this is how much that lifestyle costs.
Mm,
So that lifestyle and our and what we are able to earn, it doesn't match up. Now we can go get that, but I promise you, when the first bill cycle comes, we back on the street because we just don't make that much.
yeah,
So it's like you just have to be real and get her to understand. And if she doesn't understand, then that just means that she's not for you. You
yeah.
know.
And the bugged out shit about it is that, let's say it was a situation like that where the girl's just obsessed with this lifestyle, and you come home from working a regular job. I mean, not, and I'm not saying like no weird job where you make like minimum. I'm talking about like you get paid a decent amount of money and
Mhm,
you're providing. You have a house, you have a car, you have food on the table, and you get to stay home and be a mother or a wife, or if that's what you want to do.
mhm,
Then your life is not good. Like, I don't like, let's just say he's being, and like I said, I'm just using an example. Let's just saying he's a really straight arrow guy. He works, he takes care of his wife and kids. He got our car. It's probably not a Porsche, but it's a decent car that drives and you can get places. And he's there for you all the time. He don't do nothing but work, come home and eat, sleep, and do whatever. Maybe take you out on the weekends. Like, is that a bad life? Even though it's not everything you wanted. Maybe he can't afford to take you, to Paris or Japan, but he can take you out every now and then. Like, let's say you want to level up, but you don't work. Is it a bad idea to get a job maybe and
mhm.
and work towards that goal of, if you want to travel? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I just don't get how, if you have a guy that's providing, taking care of everything, and yeah, he may not have you in the most expensive car or whatever, but he's doing his best, and you with him, and you have kids with him, so that means you want it to be here, but yet you're drilling him when he can't provide the things that you want materialistically. Let's just say, like, is
Mhm,
is is he a bad guy because he can't do it, or he's trying his best to do it, and you still not giving him the credit he deserves? Like, what do you do? How do you not? How do you stay with somebody who doesn't understand that? Like, even if you have kids with them and you love them and you provide with them, how do you even, like, how do you even talk to somebody who's just, like I said, narcissistically just only thinking about themselves and not thinking about, wow, I have a place to stay. Wow, he takes care of me. Wow, I have food on the table. Wow, I get to stay home and not do shit all day. And I don't want to say not do shit, but take care of the kids or do the soccer mom shit. And let's say that's not something you want to do, then
You
fine,
got
go get a job
fired.
and help bring that dream closer. You know.
Mhm.
So what? How do you even go about telling her that, or how do you? What do you do at that point? You know.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Um, I believe once they start thinking that way is pretty much downhill from there.
You think so?
I mean, I don't think there's no way to fix it because once they start thinking that way and acting that way, they're not going to realize what they have until it's gone.
Mm,
So it's like you have to leave her with that mindset, and then once she realizes that I had something good, now is no. I mean, it's I don't know. It's like I don't see that. I don't. You can't. I don't think you can sit the woman down and
yeah.
say and really talk to her and explain to her that what she's thinking and feeling isn't realistic
Right.
because I feel like the expectations are just out of this world.
Mm,
I think you can't sit her down and explain it. You would have to that relationship will have to end, and she will have to fend for herself, and then she's going to reflect. She's going to have to
mm,
compare. She's going to compare the way she's living now to the way she was living then, and she's going to say, "Back then, I had it good. Maybe
yeah.
it wasn't. I didn't have the mansion in the hills, but hang, I had somebody that was taking care of me.
Yeah.
So
But that's the thing, man. Like, and I hate to say shit like this, but it's just like uh, people's idea of a relationship. Like I said before, bro, it's out of this world
it's
now.
crazy.
Like, if I go outside and I tell 10 different girls or 10 different women that what's their idea of a relationship, if they're like under 20 or something, they're gonna talk about it's gonna be mostly materialistic shit.
Yep,
You
materialist
know,
shit. Yep.
like, oh, he has to have 6 figures, he has to have a nice house, big house, nice car. Like
But
that's the
honestly,
but none of
I
them ever say, oh, I hope he can cook, he can clean. Like, I hope he's
but
romantic. They don't ever say
I
that.
don't think it's just the 20-year-old. I think it's the 30 and the 40-year-olds as well. I
I
think
mean,
all women think that way. It's a hive mind,
mm,
and then I feel like with them watching social media and reality TV, I think that really warped their thinking.
I think so. I think, man, I ain't gonna lie. Reality, yeah, TV for sure, but fucking TikTok and Instagram and looking at people's luxury lifestyles, and not for nothing, man. That none of that shit could even be real. They could probably just be doing that shit to
Yeah,
fake it till they make it kind of deal, like what rappers
I mean,
do.
it is.
And
It is.
most of the time it is because you know, a lot of people that run up on these people don't even own half that shit that they're doing on there.
And then they
You know,
tell you that reality TV is scripted now. So
right? So a lot of that shit is rented. Like, for instance, I remember I can't remember what show it was, but they were like, "Yeah, I own this, I own that," and most of that shit was just rented. I think it was MTV Cribs, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken. Most of
MTV
that
Crib.
shit wasn't even theirs. It was. And you think about it now, like a lot of the times they will be on there. There's no pictures in the house, no nothing. But
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think now social media got people so gassed up about how relationships should be. Is that it's either gonna go one or two ways. Either they expect all of this stuff up here, or they don't want nothing. They just want to get the booty and roll.
Yep.
It's like that. There's the in between part is completely gone. The part where it's like, oh, I want to meet somebody to you know, live with or be with. That shit is
Yeah.
gone. So now it's just like, yo, what are you giving me? It's like almost everybody is just like, and I know this is probably gonna sound like a repeating thing, but like everybody is literally a narcissist nowadays. It's only me, me, me. What you gonna give me? What can I get from me? I'm like, bro, it's not only about you. You know what I'm saying? It's about us first of all. It's about these kids if we have any. It's about this house if we gotta pay bills. It's about this food we gotta eat. Like, if you're gonna sit here I'm saying this, it could go both ways. I'm not saying that this is just a woman badgering the man about what they, they could be a guy that probably don't have no work, and the woman, the woman taking care of the guy.
Mhm.
Same deal. But like, how do they get past being, yo, you ain't doing shit? Are you cheating on me? Or I'm like, bro, like, I, I'm at work all day and then I come here. How am I, like, if always accusing, and then you never, you have there's no validation of anything you're accusing me of. So why are we even fighting? Like, because there's some people like that out there too. Like, they always looking for a problem. Like, bro, like, I go to work all day and you're accusing me of doing this. I'm like, like, I always hear stories of just, you know, complaining about stuff that's not relevant for this moment.
Mhm.
Like, how you gonna tell somebody you ain't shit if you aren't doing shit either? So go get a job or go help
Yeah.
with these bills, so we can probably go take that trip out to wherever.
Yeah.
So I just don't get it. And as for the roles being reversed, same thing. If a woman is providing for a minute and the guy is just sitting at home ain't doing shit, yeah, dude, you got to get up and do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. As the world is changing so crazy, like, and no bullshit, like, the women are almost becoming more tougher than the guys in relationships. And I get, like, there's some women out there that just, just act crazy, whatever. They're tough and they
Mhm.
got trauma, and most of it stems from trauma, bro. No bullshit.
Yeah. I
Most of
agree.
that, most of that
I agree with
stems
that.
from trauma. Like, maybe they have daddy issues. Maybe their father beat their moms, and a lot of that stems from that. And that's another thing. I think as men, we have to understand. Like, yeah, like, yo, she's tripping. I need to figure out what's going on here. And if I can't figure this out, she's all day just going berserker on me, bro. I gotta figure this out, because this is no good for me now. Because now you're stressing me out, and I
Yeah.
can't even work. I can't even come home.
But but is it on you to fix someone? I mean, I understand this is your partner, but sometimes I think it's important to understand that even though I am your partner, this is not my is not on me to fix you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to help you in any way I can. But sometimes you have to take these journeys on your own.
Right.
And like there's not a whole lot that I can do for you
Yeah.
that's going to fix you. You're going to have to do the work to fix yourself.
You
So,
know, and I mean, you can't fix nobody, bro. To be quite honest, you shouldn't have to try to fix anybody. You should, help maybe, but
mhm,
you can't fix anybody, dog. It's like, you. I always say that, and I'm a big advocate for counseling, bro. Like, if your problem is that deep, counseling should be your first step. If talking at home ain't helping because it's the kicking and screaming and nobody's listening, then counseling, bro. Like, you could do that shit for free, depending on, where what kind of plan you got, or you can go to church or whatever. But counseling helps, bro. And if for some weird reason counseling, therapists, all that stuff, you got to try something, because if you're not gonna try, if you're one of those people that say, "Oh, that shit's for bitches," then you're already lost.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? You're already lost if you're already thinking with that mindset that counseling's for bitches or it's for losers or whatever. You're already lost, because it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you holding in that trauma, it's just gonna make your relationship bad. It's gonna make your life worse. It's gonna make your mental worse. And nobody wins, dog. If you having trauma and you sitting there and you are literally all day, every day arguing with somebody over some bullshit,
yeah.
bro, what's the point? Like, what's the point of even being with that person? All you're gonna do all day long is bitch and complain about something. Tell me about it. I mean, seriously. Like if
Man,
it's that bad, you might as well just pack that shit up and move, roll. That's it.
yeah.
I mean, because I mean, it don't make no sense. If you spend, let's just say, there's fucking 7 days, and out of those 7 days, you spend 5 of them, or even 4 of them, arguing about something every day,
Hmm.
bro. That's crazy. Just think about that. If you spend 5 days arguing about something, even if it's for an hour, that's an hour of your life you are never getting back that you spent fighting for some bullshit. Now, if it's legit shit, I get it. But even if it's legit shit, what's the point of arguing? Explain your piece, and then figure that shit out. If it's cheating, talk about it. If you're gonna take him back, you take him back. If you're not, then let him go. What's the point of arguing about it? That's it.
Hmm.
It just boom boom. It's over. Get it out. I mean, yeah, there might be some fighting, some crying, or some arguing, but like let it out and then move on. If you can't move on, then you need to go. That's it. Like it doesn't make sense. If you can't move on, then you can't move on. You're never gonna move on.
You never
That's
be happy.
you're never gonna
Yeah.
be. So
So I'm gonna ask the question again, and then I'm gonna give my answer. So the question is: has the change in role of men and women in relationships helped or hurt relationships? My answer to that question is I think it hurt relationships more than it helped relationships. Okay. Now, I feel like men hasn't changed. Nothing changed for men. I feel like the change is in the women. So now that the women are making more money, they're able to make decision more decisions for themselves. They don't need the man to buy the car. They don't need the man to uh, get the house. They don't need the man to get the groceries and all that stuff. They can pay for themselves. They have all uh, this newfound independence on such a big scale that is never gonna go back to the way it was. Like
right.
that, once you give somebody power, like they're not gonna give it up. So
Mm,
this is something that we're gonna have to figure out, men and women. We're gonna figure out with the way that it is now. We're gonna have to figure out how do we want to how we want these relationships to be. And I feel like ultimately it's on the women. I feel like women are the ones that decide know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable in a relationship. Because the man, we just want the woman, and whatever we got to do to get the woman, we're going to do it. But I feel like is so if the women say, okay, you got to have your S together. So you got to have a job, you got to have a car, you got to have a house in order to date me. Okay, so that's what men did. But now you're saying you can't just have a car, you can't just have a house, you can't just have a job. You have to have a six-figure job. You got to have a Porsche, you got to have a mansion. Okay, now your expectations are a bit out there. You see what I'm
mm.
saying? So you're gonna have to be realistic about what it is that you're asking for. So um it hurts in a it hurts because I feel like it is now all materialistic driven. It's not about love and compatibility anymore. It's about materialistic gain.
Yeah. Not,
Like that's all you hear. You don't hear women asking for chivalry anymore. They don't say, "I want my man to open my door. I don't want my man to do romantic gestures." It's all money. The
yeah. No.
car got to be this. The house got to be that. And I don't want to sit here and just bash women. I would have to say men being men and the pursuit of women and what they in the way that they do. I mean, it caused some of some of uh some of this destruction.
Mm,
Not being faithful, so now that messes with the trust of the woman. So now the woman, she got her guard up, and it's hard to get through. And I don't think I can blame her for that. Number one, number two, I can't speak for everybody's community, but I know within the black community, we've kind of we kind of abandoned the women, and now those women have to fend for themselves.
Mm,
So, as a man walking into a room full of other men, it's tough. You can't show any weakness. So imagine being a woman walking into that same room with those same men, having to fight for the things that they need. It's a much tougher fight for her because
yeah.
that, I mean, you're a woman. Like they ain't gonna take you serious. They're gonna try to holler at you. You know, you there trying to, you're trying to get money to pay your bills and feed your kids. Like it's detrimental for you, but for
Mm,
them, it's all sex.
yeah.
So it's much tougher for her. So I understand that I understand the situation that she's in.
Yeah.
However, I do have this saying that just because you're hurting or you have trouble in your life, that doesn't give you the right to hurt other people. So I understand I understand you're dealing with trauma. I understand you're dealing with pain. I understand you have your struggles, but that doesn't give you the right to be an a-hole to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that person you're being an a-hole to could be the very person to change your situation,
Mm.
help you
Or,
in some degree.
or already did change your situation and it's not good enough for you.
Exactly.
You understand?
And
Because like,
that's yeah.
yeah, because all right. So let's just say for points right here, right? Let's just say you get the girl gets the mansion, the guy with the six figures, the car, and all that shit. Now you stuck in
Mhm.
that mansion all day by yourself, and you start complaining that he's not around because he works all day because he has to make six figures, he has to make seven figures, he has to make this money, and now you complaining because you have to clean that big ass mansion by yourself, or you have to you know listen to all these other people work around. Like, you understand? Like, so now
Mhm.
you're like, oh well, you're never home. Now you cheat. You're cheating on him because he's never home. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, when is it ever enough? Is enough even enough? Is this big ass mansion and this car enough? But I'm me not being around because I have to work all the time to make the money that you want me to make, and I'm not around, bro. When I was working a lot, bro, I wouldn't see Jess for hours, and when I get home, I'm dead ass tired and I don't want to do shit. I was working like 7 to 8 o'clock sometimes. I don't see sometimes I was working overnights, bro, just to make money to take care of her, but and the kids, but like I was never around. So like, imagine me doing that if I ain't change up my job and do something better. Imagine me doing that for 20 years straight. I wouldn't have a relationship, bro. It would be we would have been over with because I wouldn't have time for her or the kids. Like, I would miss out on everything. Imagine,
Mhm.
just picture that. Like, you work so much that you don't see your kids or your family. That puts a strain on her.
And I think that's a big difference between the mentality of men and women. Men understand that in order to have things, you have to make sacrifices, hard sacrifices.
Hmm.
Where women think that they can have it all. They think that they can have the career and the family, but you cannot have both. You
No,
cannot.
dude,
It is impossible.
it's dumbass hard, bro. And even if, let's say, for some weird reason you do have all the money and the time, it takes it takes time to create that kind of time. You understand? Does that make sense? For
Yeah.
instance, if I'm a
Yeah.
billionaire, I'm gonna have to probably dedicate 30 years of my life nonstop to be a billionaire, to enjoy the fruits of my labor, to give it to my wife and kids that probably at this point don't even know who I am or even give a fuck about me because I was never around. Everybody's
Mhm.
20 and 13, and my wife is 30 years with me, and I haven't seen her fucking vagina in like 4 months. So, like it, like she cheated on me a bunch of times because I'm never home. You understand? Like, bro, it's the craziest thing. Like, the army people, I feel bad for. Like, army
Yeah.
dudes, bro, hands down, the worst because they go out and their wives are I don't want to say all, but like all the videos, like like watching movies and shit, most of the time these wives would just be like, yo, I can't, this guy's out on tour for a year, 2 years, they cheating, bro. They out there doing their thing, and then they're like crying boohoo later, and they still get half of everything when they get the divorce. It's nuts. But I mean, that's the kind of situation he's out there making. Risking his life to make bread to bring it home to you, so you can have the house and the big fence and the dog in the backyard with the kids in the playground, and you
Mhm.
still not happy. So it's like, it's that double edged sword again. It's like, all right, do I go out here make all this money for my family, and then my wife is unhappy because she don't see me for a year because I gotta get deployed, or it's I go work this regular job and she doesn't have the big house and she's miserable because we don't have it. You understand? Like
Mhm.
that's what that vibe of you ain't shit. You're not giving me what I want. That whole it's all about me shit again. So it's like, what do you do? Like I'm telling you, there's no end to that shit, bro.
I don't if I feel.
And I'm not saying everybody's like that. I'm just saying for the ones out there who are constantly badgering their significant other about shit that if
Mhm.
you really sit down and think about it, it's not relevant to your relationship.
Yeah. Maybe it's in the difference in the way that men and women are raised, because by nature, just naturally, men are providers and protectors, where women are nurturers and they're taken care of.
Right.
So if a boy, like two kids, a boy and a girl, they running around, they run into each other, they both fall, they both crying. They're gonna pick the girl up, console her, and tell her, it's all right. No, you can cry. It's okay. But the boy, they're gonna tell the boy to pick himself up, stop
Yeah.
crying, be tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and when you go through life growing up like that, I feel like your outlook is going to be totally different, because men 100% understand that nobody's going to give you anything.
Mm.
Everything that you want in life, you're gonna have to earn
Gotta
it.
fight for it, bro.
Not only earn it, but compete for it.
Mm.
Which means I'm not the only one that wants this house. I'm the only one that wants this car. I'm not the only one that wants this woman. There's competition out here. And if I'm not good enough to beat the competition, then I lose.
Mm-hmm.
And when I lose, I can't, like, who do I run to? Who do I complain to? I can't cry to anybody.
Mm.
But with women, I feel like there's no, they don't have to, they feel like there's no competition for them. There's nothing for them to compete for. It's just, I want this, so I get it.
Right.
and
And
and you grow up living like this, and there's this whole lifestyle, this whole mentality
the
is,
whole narcissistic
yeah.
shit kicks in. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so now when these men and women, so as a man, you're trying to date this woman who never had to compete for anything, or never had to work for anything, it's hard to get her to understand how the real world really works.
Right.
So
But then there's a
that's
flip side to that because if you do get the girl who's independent and strong, now you have to compete with your own woman and battle her. You understand? So
yeah.
now there's two alphas in the crib. So you have to battle with her because she also makes money. She also can buy things. She also don't really need you, like, you know, money wise. So it's like, what am I doing here? What part do I play in this relationship? If she can do her own thing, eh, what am I here for? Like, you understand? Like, guys can be intimidated more by a woman who has more independent than a regular strong-headed woman that's just strong-headed but doesn't have a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like
I see what you're saying, but I think when people say men are intimidated by women that make more money than them or don't need them, I think they're saying that from a perspective of men having an ego.
right,
Well, I don't think that's the case. What I think it is, I know that this woman doesn't need me, so I know that if this thing doesn't go her way, she's going to treat me in a very bad way. And I think that's where the intimidation comes from.
right, right.
Not from an ego perspective, but more
No,
from a
yeah,
perspective of, this woman's going to dog me out. She's going to talk bad to me.
yeah,
We're going to
yeah,
go out, talk bad to me in front of my family, in front of my friends, like that kind of stuff.
yeah. But what exactly? So what's worse is like a girl with that can do like independent talking trash to you, talking about you ain't doing shit, or a girl who don't have money, ain't doing shit, telling you you ain't doing shit. Like it's it just blows your mind because the empathy for for the guy's feelings are not there because they're gonna tell you some fucked up shit regardless. And like I said, I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying the ones that are out there doing that to people is just it's not cool. You know, like it's like you can't be a high dollar girl, be Miss Independent, and you still talking crazy to a guy and then wonder why you're single for 3 years straight. But then you also can't be the girl who don't do shit all day. The guy comes home and you still badgering and talking shit all day to this guy. Talking about he don't do shit. Meanwhile, he's out working 10-hour job, kind of bring home a decent paycheck, and it's not enough for you because you feel like it's not enough. So it's like,
Mhm.
and most guys are not gonna be like, well, then fuck you and get a job, or they're just gonna keep rolling with the punches because they probably love her, and that's it. And then like your life is miserable for the next 20 years until you fucking die or you leave her. Like I don't know, it just bugs me out because like even in my relationship, like there was times where I was the breadwinner and I was making all the money and Jessica still works and like there was no issues, like it was whatever. And there was times where if I was going between jobs or something or doing something else and she was making all the money and there was no like we understood what the goal was. We never turned on each other or said like, oh, you ain't shit. But like we understood the purpose. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
we know what's the end goal. So if I
Right.
held it down for a bunch of years while she wasn't working, is it bad that she holds it down for a couple months or a couple years while I'm trying to figure myself out for like if I'm like does
I mean,
that
but
work the same?
that's the goal or the point of finding a partner.
Right.
But
That's the
for
whole
most
point.
men, it's
Mm.
like most men, like you want that girl that's gonna hold things down for you when you're not when you're not on top of your game. So like you lose your job, you don't want your girl to cuss you out and say you ain't this and that.
Mm.
You want her to say, okay, cool, I got it for until you can get back on your feet.
Right.
And that doesn't give you that doesn't mean okay, oh God, thank God I can sit on my behind for the next 6 months to a year while
Mm.
she's struggling, coming home stressed out. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
what that means. What it means is you lost your job. Okay, cool. I'm going to pay all the bills. And while you're looking for another one, I got you. And as soon as you find another job, it's going to take time for things to cycle through,
Right.
right? It's going to take
Yeah.
time for you to get that money situation under control. And why it's taking like even though you have a job, it's just going to take time for things to cycle through. So she's going to hold it down for you while you get things back on track. And once you get things back on track, okay, now she take her hands off the wheel, and now you're back
Like yeah.
in charge again. So it's like that part of the relationship is lost. It's
Yeah,
all about
I think that's what a lot of people don't get about it is that it's a partnership. It's not a
yeah.
it's
It's
it,
not a competition.
right. People are treating it like it's a competition where oh you have
Mhm.
to make the money and take care of me all the time or why am I like it's like I said a double edged sword. You got to work with each other, not against each other. If you're gonna sit and argue all week long about some bullshit and you not helping and I can't help because we're just doing this all day, then you losing. Like
I mean, and then I think a lot that has to do with it is the fact that bad news spread faster and farther than good news.
mm,
So like you can get on social media and see, men ain't this and men ain't that, women ain't this, women ain't that. You see that like constantly, all the time, back to back. But how many times do you see where somebody is praising their partner or they're praising the women, they're praising the men?
yeah.
And it's like you don't see that
No,
too
because
often.
negativity is a better it's more advertised, you know what I'm saying? It's easier to it's like anything. Like you rather see somebody fall down a hole than repair the hole. You know what I'm saying? Like How many? I mean, you could literally sit and watch a bunch of videos of people falling down the same hole and laugh, even though they might be getting hurt. But you'll sit there and laugh. But you ain't gonna watch the guy who's fixing it. You don't want to watch that. That shit's boring. Positive. He's fixing. He's fixing the hole that everybody's falling down, but nobody says thank you to him. But we are thanking the person who's recording everybody falling down the hole and we're laughing at the people getting hurt. Like
Yeah,
that's the kind of time we live in. It's like we like the negative shit. Nobody wants to hear the positive shit. So nobody wants to see a relationship last. You know, they're like, oh, look at this, look at these niggas. They love each other. Fuck these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they've been together,
mm,
10, 20 years. Ah, that shit bullshit. Who cares? I'm out here doing what I'll do. Like,
yeah,
nobody praises relationships anymore. You know what I mean? I remember back in the
yeah,
day, it was all about how much pussy you got. You know what I'm saying? Like that was always crazy to me because I'm like, wow. Like, don't get me wrong, I was a youngin' too, but I I always wanted to like talk and be with somebody. You know what I'm saying, that I can
yeah,
trust.
yeah, yeah.
Like, why?
I
You know what I mean?
yeah, I wasn't hypersexualized like that either.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Like it wasn't like now. Like you turn on your Facebook now, and like you see 20 bitches are shaking their asses. All you thinking about is doing shit like that. Like that shit's
mhm.
weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Shit's
Yeah, I really value women and their opinion, and I, I I think I think men and women need each other um in ways that we don't realize. And just having women in your life, not just saying mom and sister and family. You need female friends as well. And they're good to be in your life. Like just being able to talk to a female that's going to be honest and real with you, and even if she's not, and not like like y'all not in a relationship or y'all not having sex, it's just a female that you can talk to and just give you a perspective from a different walk of life. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So I mean, like these things are healthy. They're very healthy for you, and vice versa for women, because I feel like, and no disrespect, but I just feel like women don't really think things through. They
mm,
just go off of how they feel. But if you talk to women, and a lot of the things that they say or what they're doing is like, yo, why would you do that? No, 'cause like, no, I have a conversation with them, and I'm like, yo, why would you do that? I don't think you think, or I don't think you really thought that through. Because if you do that, then this is going to happen,
right.
and then you got to deal with that, and that's a much worse outcome than what you're going to get the first time. So it's just like, you just really, I make sure to consult with the opposite sex, or just whoever, man. Like just talk to people, because I found that having women in my life, both family and friends, or whether we're dating, it's a lot healthier than not. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no. Well, being married for the time I've been married is I mean, we had the ups and downs, of course. I mean, because we knew each other since we were young, so we were still learning, and we still are. But we have nailed down the communication part of it pretty good. Um, and just understanding each other, talking about stuff before it turned into a heated argument, just that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Kind of being on the same level with each other, no matter what. It took a while to get there, of course, because you don't know. There's a lot of trauma with us, and when I say us, I mean like me. I had trauma, growing up, with my mom and my dad, whatever, my step pops. But she also has her own trauma, so it's kind of like you gotta bring both your problems together and help each other try to figure that shit out. And that's hard to do in itself because I don't know how to fix my problem. How the fuck am I supposed to fix your problem? But then it's like I have to help you fix you, but it's so hard to fix me. I can't, like it's one of those things where listen, I have to fix me so I can help fix you, or you have to fix you so you can help fix me, or we kind of have to bounce energy off each other because this shit's not going to work out because I don't know how to do things and act sometimes, or I could be maybe I could be a little bit too angry or impulsive or do something that's not right, or and you got to check me on it, or I got to tell you, yo, chill out, that's just a little bit too much, and kind of just balance each other out. So I think now I we do that really well. Like if I'm getting agitated, and you know me, like if I get angry, like it's everything's red. You know what I'm saying? I see red, and I've learned how to
Mhm.
chill with that. She is part of that reason. Like I learned how to just take it back and chill, and just kind of just think about it now. Like so now I'm more emotionally attached to how I am going to act versus what I'm going to do. So emotional intelligence, like I said, is a very important part of everything you do now. Like think about it. Think about it twice. Think about the outcome. Think about the consequences if you did that. Like literally think about every situation, almost to the point where it's like you want to come up with like a Doctor Strange. You want to come up with 100 different realities of what can happen if you do that one thing. You understand?
Mhm.
So I'm
Mhm.
100 different scenarios because you did one thing wrong, or what can you want to change that, so that's my way of thinking now. So like I'm not jumping out the window anymore. I'm not going crazy. I'm more chill. I think about the shit. I almost don't even say anything anymore, and I'll be like, yo, I'm not doing that. I'm over this. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'll go to the spot. I'll go chill. I'll go to the backyard. I'll go whatever I got to do to not be involved in the fuckery that's about to happen. I'm out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like even at work, I used to get crazy at work. If somebody said something to me, I would go nuts. I'll curse everybody out. Um, act crazy. I don't. If somebody says something to me at work now, unless they physically don't touch me, that's my only thing. You don't. If I put my elbows out and we arguing, I put my elbows out, and you too close to them, you getting hit. If you stay in your space and you talking to me, as long as it's respectful, we straight. But even at work, if somebody says something I didn't like, I would back in the day emotionally go crazy because I would just be like, oh, now I'm like, all right, that's how you feel. This is how I feel. I don't give a fuck. I'm out. See you later. And I'll dip, bro. I literally walked off a job a while back because I just didn't. One of the managers said something crazy, and I'm like, yo, I'm not here for this, and I just left. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I, I would just to protect my energy and my personal fit, like my personal space and feelings. I will take myself out the equation, and you stay there and you act dumb because I'm not going to stress myself out, and that's it. And that's how I feel
Yeah.
about relationships now. Like, let's just say one day Jessica gets up and she's going nuts, and she
Mhm.
decides she wants to, I don't know, fucking jump out of, I don't know, just how girls could go crazy. I will try to figure what's going on. I'm not gonna ask her a million times because I know she doesn't like to be asked questions like that. And I'll just give her space and let her be mad until she chills out, and that's it. I'm not gonna sit there and badger her about it. I'm not gonna argue about it. I'm not gonna fight about it. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna be like, all right, well,
Well, I feel like no, sometimes that's what you need.
bro,
You know,
everybody
you
needs
need
their
that
space.
yeah, that space and peace and
Everybody,
quiet. But the problem is this attachment thing, bro. Like,
yeah, no, and I agree because like clingy people or people who don't have any empathy towards other people's emotions and they just want to badger them about shit, that shit is annoying. Just leave
mhm,
them alone, let them chill. I am not arguing with you. If you say something and you try to piss me off, I am not arguing with you anymore about it. If you want to throw shots at me, and if that's your cup of tea, like throwing shots and bringing up old shit and doing, then you're already starting off this relationship. Like you're already wrong. You're already in the wrong.
mhm, yeah.
Like that's it. Like if we can't talk about this shit, then that'll be that, bro. Like sometimes I even catch myself even getting really upset, and I might raise my voice, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm timed out. Well, I don't know. I don't want to talk about this shit. Like if it's not serious, bro, I'm over. I'm not doing it. But
Yeah. I hate arguing, especially if you're gonna be yelling and screaming and saying things that you can't take back.
Mm.
So I get quiet before that happens, and
Yeah.
if they just keep egging on, then
And
I
that's
leave.
another thing too. When you say shit that's fucked up, bro, there's no coming back from that, bro.
Mhm,
I was never one to. I'm pretty sure if I had an argument with somebody, I didn't say some fucked up shit like that. I might say like fucked up shit to you, but not like, oh, you a piece of shit, or you a skinny prick, you know, bitch, or fat motherfucker. Like I don't, bro. I'm not doing that, bro. Like if you are in a relationship and you start saying wild shit like that, like, oh, you a bum, or you a piece of shit, or you don't do like like why that's not even cool, bro. Like you shouldn't even be doing that. Like you're already setting up the battle to lose, because now that motherfucker's gonna be like, damn, she thinks I'm a piece of shit. And that's always gonna be in the back of a dude's mind, because like that's how we are. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Especially if you have one of those emotional dudes with everything you tell them. Because I see, I'm a Cancer, bro. I like my feelings are always right here, right on my sleeve. So you say some shit to me, I take that shit personal all the time. But on the other hand, I also know how to give it back, and I don't want to do. I'm not doing that, bro. So if I come off emotional, it's because I care so much. You understand? And I care
mhm,
about what you think, and I care about how you feel. And you're gonna say some wild shit like that to me, and then it's gonna have me thinking like, "Yo, damn, am I a piece of shit? What I do to be a piece of shit?" But damn, I just took a, the dinner last week, or I just bought her some flowers yesterday, or I just bought her some shoes a month ago, and how am I a piece? Like, you understand? Like that fucks up shit. So like, I just think if you guys are in an argument and you guys start throwing rocks at each other, those rocks cannot be taken back, bro. That's all I'm saying. As one glass starts breaking, bro, that shit gonna be broke.
mhm.
That's why
Yeah,
if anything you get from this fucking podcast is, do not talk shit, especially if you're dating somebody. Like, why would you even be like, if you with somebody like, let's say 5, 6 years, why would you even think about saying, oh, you don't do shit, motherfucker, blah 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 blah. That's why I'm like, that's
like
crazy.
hurt people, man. Like
And
you
that's
you're
what it
saying,
is, bro.
Ninja,
And like
hurt
I
people.
said, emotional intelligence needs to be taught, and we are not teaching our kids to deal with their traumas and their problems. We just brush it off and we let them deal with it when they get older, and it becomes their
Mhm,
boyfriend or girlfriend's problem now. And that's how you end up with these guys and girls that don't know how to act with their spouse or their boyfriends or their girlfriends. They don't know how to express themselves. All they know how to do is fight and argue, because that's what they saw at home, because nobody taught them how to deal with problems.
mhm.
Just straight up.
I agree, man.
So
100.
that's my take on that. And I think I'm cool with that. I'm not trying to make this video too
Yeah,
long.
I'm cool with that as well.
Yeah, so
But to the viewers, man, let us know your opinions. So once again, I'm gonna give the question again. So has the change in role of men and women in relationships helped relationships or hurt relationships? Let us know what you think in the comments.
yeah, yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, please.
All day.
Appreciate you guys for watching.
Mm. Yeah, man, just let us know. The channel is growing. We want to hit 1,000 subs soon. It'll be dope. So share the videos, man. And if you feel like we hitting on some notes, man, share it with your buddies and whatever, man. We're really trying to get these subs up. They're moving a little. They're moving. They're moving. But yeah, we want to get them up. The videos are being watched. You guys are just not subbing, so hit the subscribe and the bell button on the side. And whenever we make goofy content or whatever this is, you guys will get it. This is Ninja,
This is XP Early Bird.
and we out of here.
Peace.